Raining outside. Okay, y'all, come on back in. Come on back in, babies. You know it's always something. Always something. Okay. Always something. It's raining. It's pouring down outside. But I'm going to get back to what I was saying. In some kind of way, we're going to gel this thing together. We're going to bring it together. Like I was saying, when you're dealing with veterans benefits, I don't care if you've been there for 6 months or 60 years. Go get them benefits, people. We got a lot of folk that's been in the military that don't even know what they qualify for. But with all that being said, y'all, we're going to get into the show. I just wanted to introduce to you all the secret, and I wanted to let you know, change your mind, change your life. And you got to get engaged, y'all. You got to get engaged. Now, the reason why this young lady is sitting next to me is because she need to tell y'all something. She need to be straight up and let people know what they need to do right now and on August 11th.
That's exactly right. Yes.
All right. Last week we had a guest, and that guest said some certain things, so I invited her back to, let us know what the real deal was. Congresswoman Joyce Marie Griggs.
Well, thank you very
From
much.
combat to Congress, baby. Let us know what's going on, please.
Yes, thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be on the show again tonight.
Yes.
I'm fired up and ready to go.
Yes, ma'am. Come on now.
I am fired up. And what I want to make sure you all know, I need your vote.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
August 11th is you can appear in person and vote. Okay, for the runoff. But there's early voting going on now, and there's also absentee voting going on. And it appears from what I guess the analysts are saying that the elections will be won on absentee ballots.
Yes.
Unfortunately, though, in my opinion, it gives them an opportunity to steal the votes. Because in the last election on June 9th,
say that again.
It gives them a greater opportunity to steal the votes.
Pay attention, people.
Okay? And on June 9th, a lot of votes were stolen. I was informed that a lot of votes were not counted. I was further informed that people that worked there, that they were making duplicate ballots. And they were doing all kinds of illegal things.
Yes.
And that there were people in the counting room, the vote counting section, the ballot counting, that were not supposed to be there. Okay? Also, I was told there were problems with chain of custody, and you know, sis, yourself in the military, you got an initial and sign every time you move a piece of equipment from point A to point B.
Point B. That's
you got to
right.
give an accountability.
Yes.
There must be a chain of custody. I was told there was no chain of custody, no accountability, very little supervision, and even the box outside was not secure.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
Especially
y'all.
Okay, it's serious. If they're doing this now, what do you think November is going to be?
Exactly.
Okay, they're going to steal even more.
Exactly.
Okay, so I want you to get out there and vote for Joyce Marie Griggs.
Yes.
Know that I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. I've served my country for over 33 years. Combat veteran. 3 tours in Iraq, Bronze Star recipient, and I'm highly qualified. A bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a JD degree, law degree, and I've practiced law. So some of you know me. But I am highly qualified, and I will fight for the people.
That's
and I can't be bought, and I can't be bribed. Okay, bottom line.
Come on, somebody.
I don't need their money. The reason I put myself out here, because the people of the 1st Congressional District need a strong voice in Washington to articulate your needs. And I am that strong voice.
That's right.
They can't buy me all the lobbying money in the world. They can't give me. Okay? Also, I refuse to take PAC money. See, because once you start taking PAC money, they own you. But they will not own me. They will not pimp me. Okay, I want you to know that. Now, I'm going to the point that I understand that some gentleman was up here last week. And it's kind of sad, really.
Yes,
okay?
it is.
It really is.
Yes, it is.
Because we're talking about systemic racism. But guess what? Within our own ethnic group, within us, we have some serious problems.
Yes.
Okay, we will oppress each other quicker than they will sometimes. And we are our own problem to a large degree. And I guess it goes back to the Willie Lynch theory.
Exactly.
Okay, back to the Willie Lynch.
It goes back to post-traumatic slavery syndrome.
So we have a strange mentality. And a lot of us would rather support them than support somebody that they know is qualified.
You know what? Because a lot of us think that, and I'm going to just put it out there, that the white man's ice is colder, his water is fresher, and his sugar is sweeter. But can't nobody come into my house tell me, who's never been in my house, and tell me how to run my house. Can't nobody come from Baltimore, Maryland, from Florida, from Alaska, from Barnflip, Egypt, and tell me what I need in my house.
That's right.
That don't make sense, y'all. And nobody that's from this area should even be supporting. I'm going to just put it out there. Somebody who don't know the real needs of the people.
That's right.
Come on, somebody.
That's right.
I said it. I sure did.
And that's absolutely sad, okay? They come here and give them a snow job for whatever reason, okay? And then we vote them into office. Come on. How many of them have actually boots on the ground in your community? How many have worked with the homeless, the disenfranchised? You know what I'm saying?
The only time you see them knocking on your door is when? Election time.
And then sometimes they don't even come out that in.
Oh, come on now.
Let's be real now.
Come on.
Let's be real.
Yes.
Okay, so you're right. How can they come to our community and they don't even know anything about it? And some of them are scared to interact with you. I mean, really, some of them are actually scared to interact with you because they're so accustomed to interacting with just them. And unfortunately, my opponent, we had 4 debates. Did not show up for one of them. Okay? And then yesterday, guess what? Skidaway Island Democrats had a debate, not a debate, a forum. She showed up. Wonder why? You figure it out.
All right, y'all. Listen. Look here, you got to be real with this thing.
Skidaway Island?
You got to be real with it.
Let's be real with it, okay?
Okay? I'm so glad all of you. I would love for all of you to share. Okay. Share all of this because you need to know this thing is real out here, y'all.
It's serious.
It's nothing to play with anymore.
Right.
You can't just knock on somebody's door and ask them for their human right, the right that they have in this country for something, and you've never even interacted with that person.
Right.
You come from someplace. Look here. She's from here. She done worked these streets. She done been in the trenches. She done dealt with the system. Guess what? Put her in that seat and watch what happens.
Right. And let me just say this also, and I'm going to go back to what they address some of the issues that gentleman brought up last week. But let me just say this. Savannah Morning News has been very unfavorable to me. And as a matter of fact, especially a lot of African Americans, they will write the most negative thing about you. I want you to know that Jan Scutch emailed me late on a Monday night and said that they wanted to print something in the paper and that I could call him back. So I said, well, this is late Monday night. Let me go to bed. I'll do it in the morning. Well, Monday morning, it was already in it. Then he tried to allege that he couldn't get in touch with me, which is...
Hold on one second. Caller, you're on the air.
I'm at the door.
Oh, thank you very much. I apologize. Okay. Thank you, caller.
Okay.
Could you please let them know that we have somebody? Could you go downstairs and open the door for them? I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all, I told you we short-handed tonight, okay?
But in any event, he put and then he put it like David going before Goliath, and that I ran before in 2000 against Republican Jack Kingston, okay, that I lost by 20,000 votes. Well, like somebody put out some information, the opponent lost over 30-something thousand votes against one of her opponents. So come on now. Okay, but they said nothing negative about my opponent. And then they tried to allege that I was never given the Chief Justice Award on professionalism when I practiced law, which is a lie. I did receive that. Also, the Pro Bono Award, they said, well, it was really a certificate. Okay, you want to play with words to try to make me look bad and said I was getting out on the campaign trail saying I was still practicing law, that the Supreme Court of Georgia had not disbarred me. Yeah, I've been disbarred, but guess what? They can't take my knowledge.
Hey.
And guess what? The disbarment was illegal. I want you to know that the federal judges that were on my case in federal court were Confederate era federal judges. So you need to understand
Confederate era federal judges.
And they're making decisions about us.
Okay.
They didn't believe African Americans should be there. They even made remarks that they need to send blacks back to Africa and that women had no rights. So come on. And then my constitutional rights were violated. I never had a hearing. And I didn't steal any client's money, okay, or nothing like that. The federal judges decided that they didn't like. Well, it was political. Even Honorable Senator Regina Thomas had written an article during that time. And she said, I believe if George hadn't run against Jack Kingston, they would not have attacked her.
Hello.
Okay. And I've even had some of the other lawyers coming to me and saying, oh, won't you come and join our
Hold on a minute. Caller, you need to turn your phone down a little bit because I'm hearing an echo. Okay. I apologize. Caller, you're on the air.
This Vanessa, I think the live went off.
It's back on.
Okay, thank you.
If listen, if you were looking, it is back on. This is not something, y'all listen. Our engineer, they told me it's raining outside. So because it's raining, this is what's happening. The live is going off and what have you. Sir, if you can go around, you can sit in that chair. And if there's another chair, the other person can sit in that chair as well. All right, y'all, go right ahead.
Okay, let me finish up. But in any event, Honorable Regina Thomas wrote an article, and she said, well, really, African Americans are treated much harsher. And unfortunately, we don't have our own mediums. Okay, we just don't. We don't own the TV stations or the newspaper stations. Okay, and let's face it.
But hold on now. Thank God for this podcast.
Oh, yeah, the podcast. Oh, yeah, the
podcast. Bam, baby.
Yeah, yes. I thank God for
all up in here. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
But I thank God for those.
Yes.
Traditional media. Let me say that. But thank God we got the spinoff now of programs like this, which is good, where we can express ourselves and bring some truth and speak truth to power.
Yes.
Okay. But in any event, that's what they do. And I want people to know that my opponent that I ran against back in 2000, Attorney Don Smart, he stole over just recently. Well, it's a couple years ago, but just recently they sentenced him. He stole over $500,000 from his clients. Okay, I didn't steal any money, but you know what? They will not silence me, no matter what. No, win, lose, or draw. No matter what, they will not silence me. Okay?
That's right.
And I will continue to fight for the people.
That's right.
Because guess what? I'm combat proven. The Army taught me very well. I was born to lead and trained to win. The military taught me how to win.
That's right.
And I'm not afraid.
That's
okay?
right.
I'll stand up against the devil in hell.
That's right.
Okay?
Come on now.
All right. But in any event, let me go to the gentleman from what I heard he said last week. Said he really bashed me. Well, let me let you know something, listening audience. He's out of Brunswick. And in my opinion, professional opinion, because I'm a counselor, he is mentally ill. And he's a danger to the African American community. I mean, he really is. Well, I paid him and someone thousands of dollars during the primary to help me out in Brunswick. I was informed, whether it was true or not, that they were working for my opponent. Well, I didn't let them know I was coming to Brunswick. I went up there and I didn't see it in my signs. So I found one of them address and I went by there. There's a stack of signs just lying in his yard.
Oh,
okay,
no.
This particular one didn't have the courtesy to stand up and talk to me. Then I went by Zach Lyle's house, the one that they were supposed to be working together. And he peeked out, the one that wouldn't even open the door. When before this, I've known him for like 20 plus years.
Right.
When
I thought you all were friends.
That's right.
Yes.
And I've been to all kind of activities in Brunswick. They needed money. And guess what? Especially when I was practicing law, I had money. I would drop $500, $300. And they would come to Savannah, didn't have money. So I said, okay, what you need? I would just drop it. Thought nothing of it. Okay. But for him to get up and degrade me like that, he's a poor excuse for a black man. Let me say it again. He's a poor excuse for a black man.
Wow.
Okay? Now, let me say this also. He attacked where I fellowship. And I don't care. The devil in hell could hear this. And I hope Zach Lyde is listening. I bet damn, and I normally don't curse, if anybody is going to interfere with my relationship with Jesus Christ. I know what he's done for me. You will not hamper my faith. You will not interfere with it. And I will fellowship wherever I want to fellowship, okay? Yes, I fellowship at a mixed church. Okay, blacks and whites. Okay, and guess what? Jesus is not a color. They said those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. He is not a color. Okay, and he made all of us. And if people want to get upset about that, then that's on you. But no one would interfere with my relationship with my God. Okay, and then also, yes, the pastor is white, but they have mixed children, black children in their family. Okay, come on. So they're not going to cause me to hate anybody or belittle anybody because of their race. Yeah, people are people. We got some rotten apples in our community that will sell us for a nickel. And let me tell you something. My forefathers and your forefathers fought for this country, fought for civil rights, fought for voting rights, and they're selling us out. Okay, they are. Look at what some of the former elected officials are doing. They are selling us out. It is absolutely sad. It is a travesty. Yeah, we've come a long ways. We got a long ways to go. We need a change of mind among us. It is absolutely sad what we are doing. Okay? And then he said something about I go past the black churches and go out there with my time, my talent, and my tithe. Well, because they can't pimp me anymore, he claimed he was a preacher. And every other word out of his mouth was a curse word. Okay? So, yeah, you can't pimp me anymore. I will not support your illegal causes. I will not support you pimping other people. I will not. Once I found you out, I backed up. Okay? But he was supposed to be helping this other guy, putting my stuff out. And then he was riding around with the opponent stuff all over the place. Okay? But I paid you.
Y'all listen.
It's not over with yet. After things are over, there will be a lawsuit.
Yes.
Okay? And there will be another lawsuit against Savannah Morning News because they continuously defame me. They will answer to me. Now, Scutch doesn't like me because I sued them before for defamation of character. Okay? Because they are liars. They are on life support system at the taxpayer's expense. We are paying over about $1 million a year, the city of Savannah, to rent some space at the Savannah Morning News. Do you hear what I'm saying? If you pay taxes, you're paying for that. Okay, they're on life support. We need to pull the plug and let them die. Okay, I'm tired of paying my taxes. Okay, come on. We need to pull the plug and let them die. Okay, yeah, I got properties here. I'm paying a lot of property taxes every year. Okay, let's pull the plug and let them die. They are racist. They are illegal. Check on them. They go back, way back. Okay, to the Confederate era.
To the selling of slaves on the
auction block. And advertising people in their newspaper. I mean, you shouldn't even be reading it. Their newspaper is not even good enough for toilet paper to be used in the bathroom. Okay?
Right,
but we need to pull the plug on Savannah Morning News and let them die. That's what we need to do. Your tax dollars are going to that. And that should not be. Okay? Somebody got to start standing up. Savannah is majority African American. And we're sitting around like we just fell off the cabbage truck. Okay? We need to start speaking up. We need to start standing up. If it's an injustice, it's an injustice. An injustice against one is an injustice against all. That's right. And to Mr. Zach Loud, I hope you're listening. If you want to have a face-to-face, one-on-one, I'm ready for you, okay? Because you are a poor excuse for a black man, for you to attack me. Evidently, you've been paid. It's obvious. And you can tell the ones that's been paid. And you've been paid, black man. You've been paid. But if you want to do a one-on-one, I will stand toe-to-toe with you. And I will not back down. But I do not appreciate you degrading me. Okay? I do not appreciate that. You've been paid. And I'm sick of it. And I'm going to give you a promise. I'm going to deal with you after the election. I shall deal with you. I know how to file my own lawsuit because I got the knowledge, okay? They can't take that away. They can't take that away. And I just want to say something. I had contacted Chief Justice Benham. He just retired recently. And I asked him, I said, Chief Justice, do you remember giving me the Chief Justice Benham Award on He said, yeah, Joyce, I remember. It was about 2001. Okay, so I'm waiting on something from him, okay? All right. So they lied. They're going to eat their words, though. I'm not backing down.
All right, y'all listen.
Okay? And people, let me tell you something. I will fight for you. Okay? It ain't about me. It's about you. Because if they do it to me, I want you to think about it.
Look at how many others they've done it to.
That's right. Okay, and I had legal knowledge. Okay? Legal experience. I was supposed to be a member of the legal club. And they wanted to take me out. I even had some other lawyers, okay, wanted me to come on board with them because they said, oh, we like the way you practice. You're very aggressive, this and that. No, you're not pimping me. And I told them I got my own. And somebody told me, well, if you went with them, they wouldn't take your license. No, I'm not. I'm not selling myself. I'm not prostituting myself. I'm not pimping myself. I'm standing no matter what. To the last breath that's out of me, I shall stand. But in any event, voters, go out to the polls. Get on out there now. Early vote. Even absentee, even though I'm concerned about the absentee and in-person vote, do it. We need you to do it. We need you. I need your vote.
Yes.
Okay, and I promise you, I will fight for you. They can't buy me. They haven't bought me yet. They never will. Okay, all the gold at Fort Knox, I will not accept. PAC money, I would not accept. Okay, so vote for Joyce Marie Griggs. I'm the fighter. I'm the champion. I am the better candidate. You look at the opponent credentials. Okay, they're pale compared to mine. Come on, let's be real. Let's be real. They did not. Savannah Morning News didn't question her credentials. Okay, but you're going to question. And then I guess they could have at least put in there that in spite of all this, she went on to serve a country to Iraq 3 times and was awarded the Bronze Star. I'm an intelligence officer. Okay, they put none of that in there. Okay, no, they don't want to put anything that will make me look good. But I shall deal with them. That is a promise.
You're on the air. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, hi. Good evening to you, Sister Alicia Blakely.
Good evening.
And our upcoming Congresswoman for the state of Georgia, Mrs. Joyce Marie Griggs.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
And I'm not going to be long, but I'm going to be strong as usual. I would like to say to the listening audience too, in reference to Mrs. Griggs and the man that you had on last week, Mr. Zach Lyde, and the Savannah Morning News. I would first start out with Mr. Zach Lyde. Now, Mr. Zach Lyde, basically, he is somebody that Joyce did bring to the black community. I remember this about 20 years ago, and I really thought this was a real powerful black brother. I really did, and I had a lot of respect for him. And I told him this on the phone last week. But a black man that gets on a black woman radio show and then speak ill of another black woman in reference to a white woman, seemed like to me he was the cheerleader. He was doing flips for the white woman against the black woman. I have no respect for a black man like that.
Wow.
And evidently he had to be paid by her. But sometimes now we got to think about this. Sometimes black men and black women, they work for the betterment of the white race without even get paid. They just like being around white folks. See, that's what you call a real certified on the Tom. They don't get paid no more like they used to. One time the white man used to pay them. But now they don't need no money. They just want to be in the company. They just want to be in the company of this white woman or white man. So I have no respect for him. But anyway, he's just garbage to me. So anyway, let's talk about a little bit about Savannah Morning News. Savannah Morning News, black people, got to remember that one time they used to be the Savannah Daily News.
Yes.
Now these are the same people that actually use their paper to put in the sale of the slaves for the weeping time. Black people need to understand that they're the same people. So if they was racist back then, do you think just because they changed their name, they changed their attitude and their heart? If they was racist back then, they are still racist. Do you think they want Joyce Marie Griggs to go to Congress? No, they do not. They don't care. Plus, that's a Republican paper too. But then, even though Lisa Ring is a Democrat, they would rather put Lisa Ring in there versus Joyce Griggs because she's a white woman. So black people, all those ones out there that trying to go against our sister, please, I'm asking you to really stand up and stop being a stepping statue for the white man. Stop doing all this cheerleading working for the white man because they would not do it for you. They would never do it for you. But this is one thing I'm going to leave you all with. All these people who want to do investigation on Joyce, I wonder if anybody went downtown to Chatham County Courthouse and did some investigation on Lisa Ring and found out that she done had all these foreclosures. You want her to be your congressperson? She done had about 3 or 4 foreclosures. She done had so many bankruptcies, you know what I'm saying? And she done been, they done found something on her down at the courthouse, unlawful entry. Unlawful entry? This sounds like a criminal to me. This sounds like a thug. So you want this thug white woman to actually lead you as being a congresswoman versus Joyce Griggs now, who basically, this woman here was combat veteran. Then she now been awarded the Bronze Star Medal. She has a law degree from the Marshall Law School. This lady here, her doggone profile looks like she can run for the president of the United States of America.
Yes, she
could. Still, y'all up here, Zach Lyde up here being a cheerleader, but Lisa Ring, who got all them doggone evictions on her. I mean, that's a thug. You talk about a thug versus a woman who have been in the military, who fought for the liberation of our country. Come on, black people, let's wake up and smell the coffee. Now, we are not living in 1619 anymore. We've been liberated now. We have been free from off the slave masters' plantation. We are not slaves anymore. So I want all these black people who's out there going against our sister, stand up and get that hump out your back. And once you get that hump out your back, the white man and neither his white woman will never be able to ride you again. Let's vote for Joyce Marie Griggs. We love you, sister. We're going to take you all the way there.
Thank you so much.
Yes, love you.
Thank you, love you.
Woo, y'all listen. Like I said, this is not necessarily the opinion of your host, Alicia Blakely. It is the opinion of my guests that call in and sit in the seat. With that being said, y'all, my, Miss Congresswoman Joyce Marie Griggs.
Yes, ma'am.
I thank you so much for coming and clearing that up.
Thank you so very much.
You know, because we had a conversation, you know, after the everything was over, we had a conversation, and when the question was asked and it was revealed, I was floored. Now, I gotta say this. My guest last week had a wealth of knowledge. And it was some good knowledge until it got to the point of bashing you, my sister. That's not gonna happen. You know, my thing is this. I need everybody that can hear and see this podcast, get to the polls and vote. Okay, see here. I don't know why they keep calling, because...
While you're saying that, can I say this briefly?
Yes, ma'am.
I am also a praying woman. So if anybody need prayer, make sure you call me at 912-316-6009. I'll put in a prayer for you. I got a prayer closet. I know how to reach heaven, okay?
Come on now.
And I'm fired up and ready to go. I know how to pray.
Hold on. From combat to Congress.
Come on now.
Let's do this now. Let's do this.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Oh, fired up, ready to go. Fired up and ready to go. Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay.
All veterans. And let me say this right here. We're not just speaking to African Americans. We're speaking to Caucasians. We're speaking to everybody that wants somebody to really represent them.
Yes.
That's not going to go along to get along. That's not going to be a part of the status quo.
Yes.
All right. Y'all, that's very, very important. If you already been there, then you know how to speak to them. You got a lot of people that represent you that ain't even fought one day for their country.
Okay.
This lady here, she done been to Iraq 3 times and got the Bronze Star. Come on.
Thank you. That's right.
Look here.
And I'm going to continue to fight for you in Washington. We're going to fight all the way to Washington.
That's right.
Taking no captives. We're going up. We're going to make a new standard.
That's
a new day for all of us.
That's right.
For all people.
That's right.
That's right. I don't care what your sexual orientation, your gender, your race, your background.
Hello.
For all people.
Everybody. Look at here.
That's what I'm about.
You know, some people say they're going to put a leaf in the table and everybody can eat. Come on now, you gonna be right there, and you gonna make sure that happens, right? Hello, you ain't just saying that just to be saying it.
No.
You saying it because it is reality.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for coming.
And I appreciate you and love you.
Yes.
And again, I'll pray for you. Call me. Thank you. Fired up and ready to go.
Come on. Thank you so much, Joyce Marie Griggs, y'all. Joyce Marie Griggs for Congress. All right, Mr. Tony Riley, you come on. All right, and y'all, they're just coming because they want to remind you that they need you to get to the polls and they need you to vote. Like I said earlier, you can't come all the way from Alaska and tell me what I need, and I've been here all my life. I know what I need. Come on now. Go ahead, Mr. Riley. How you doing tonight?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Y'all, we got another guest. We got 2 more guests. You got to go around. We got 2 more guests that's coming tonight, and I promise y'all, we won't be long. It's already 8 o'clock. It's 5 after 8, so I ain't trying to be funny, my brother.
Got to go.
But you got to come in and do your thing, Thizzle. And all right, go ahead, Mr. Riley.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad to be back again with Alicia Miller Blakely and on for us and by us, so I can talk to us over in the 2nd District. We really need to get cranked up and fired up, like Joyce said, and ready to go. because if we don't, they're going to put us on to go in the second district again.
Hello.
And we're not going to have representation that we know and we trust, that knows our neighborhood, knows our community, lives among us and serve us and know what we need and what we want and how to get it. So I just came out tonight to encourage you again to get out to vote, and please, by all means, fill out your census first and foremost.
Yes.
Because we're only 52% now in participation, and I know there are a lot of envelopes laying on dressers and tables and in drawers that have not
top
been
of the
filled
refrigerator,
out. Top of all those places.
and the little junk drawer by the stove.
Got to fill those out. That is just as important as voting. And in Georgia, I know there are a lot of black folks that didn't do the census before. Cost us perhaps a congressional seat, and we need that, okay? So that aside, I want to talk to my Blue Jackets.
All right, come on
Second
now.
District, you are a Blue Jacket district. And I told Michael Hamilton, who now supports
Savannah
me,
High.
I said, Michael, I was so afraid that you were going to go out there and get a chance to go to the Savannah High class reunions like Keisha Carter did and get all those Blue Jackets behind you, and then I would have been washed. But fortunately, that didn't happen for him. But now, Blue Jackets, I'm going to plead to you for your support, that you all have that blue is running in your veins, and I need you to take it to the poll. I need you to vote early. If your mother, your father, your sister, brother, anybody who has an absentee ballot that they received in the mail because they're over 65 and they automatically got one, please help them fill it out, voting for Tony Riley, and send it back. And you do not need postage. The postage will be paid by the election board. They're not going to get
now,
it.
y'all listen, you do not have to go and get a stamp. You know, a lot of elderly folk, they want to say, well, you got to get a stamp, and I don't have a stamp, so I ain't going. No, just fill it out, put it in the mailbox, in your mailbox, lift the little handle up if you have one like that, the little red flag, so that the postman can take it with him. Y'all, this thing is crucial. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I talked earlier about my child getting qualified for a house. So quite naturally, we looking. In the second district, I believe it's 36th Street. They got one house. I used to see that house all the time walking because I grew up in that area on Duffy and Price. They got this house listed for $269,000. It might be 1,100 square feet.
Wow.
The point that I'm making is the area is gentrifying.
Yes.
They're pricing and taxing people up out of that area every day. Y'all, I got a young lady sitting in here right now that's getting ready to give you the 411 on what happened to her mother.
Yes, and it happens.
In that district.
And while you're talking about that, Alicia, there is a program now, a project. It's called Better Community. Lord, it's building purpose-built community.
Right.
Purpose-built community. It's a great organization. The executive director of the Housing Authority is involved, and the purpose of the purpose-built community is to kind of slow down or stifle the gentrification that's going on in the second district, because most of our constituents here in the second district are elderly people who have lived in their homes, have paid for their homes. Some of their homes are kind of, need repair, but because they're on retirement incomes now, a lot of them can't do the work. But the city does have programs that'll fix a roof or do the air conditioning system or different things in the house to kind of help them at no cost. And there are certain zones for that. But the purpose-built community wants to come in, and their main project right now is trying to get the $7 million out of the SPLOST 7 to build the Early Child Development Center over in High Point, which is formerly Hitch Village. So that's going to come up over there, and that's going to be like the nucleus for trying to bring this community back alive and help the people that are living there have a better quality of life, and also provide...
But hold on.
Talk to me.
Hold on. $7 million for, now see, that's where I have issue with that, because that whole area is changing. You don't see a whole lot of black babies in Hitch Village, and it's changing.
It's bringing them in. They're going to bring them in.
But that's what they say.
Right.
That's what they've been saying for many years about certain schools and certain programs.
Yeah, but this is not a school. This is kind of on the same wise or level it is that what they did over at the East Broad Elementary School, where they took that school, and I think it's
they invested $2 million of the taxpayers' money into that school
for the kids that are age 2 and 3, 4 years old, something like that. And that allows parents who can't really afford. You know, we always talk about the low wages that are going on because of these service jobs. So you don't qualify for Peach and all these other programs. And so it affords these young ladies to have a place that they can send their kids so they can go to work.
Well, I'm going to just say it like this right here. I pray to God that everything that they say they're going to do, that they do.
Well, as long as Alicia's sitting on, and that's the thing too, Alicia, and you'll get a chance to play a part in this, because right now the discussion is who's going to pay, the county or the city. And so that
I get a chance to play a part in that.
That gives you a chance to get at the table.
That's laughable.
I heard you say the other day they didn't have you at the table.
No, we're not at the table. You already know it.
In order for the purpose-built community
when
to be
we are allowed
successful,
to put certain things on the agenda, then I can say we are truly at the table. But that has not been the case. And we're going to have a conversation about that as well, because there's all kinds of task forces and commissions and authorities and all of this kind of stuff. And it's very ironic that you can have a sitting council member on the Proud task force. You could have a sitting council member on the racial inequality task force. But when myself wanted to be on a particular task force, it had to be asked if the attorney could agree for that to happen. Y'all, this thing is serious out here, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that before we leave off the air. I don't want nobody else in here when I talk about it, because it's going to be coming from me. Okay? All right, Mr. Riley.
Okay, so early voting started on July the 20th. It ends on August the 7th. So if you want to beat the crowd or don't want to get caught up in maybe some of the technical problems that we had on June the 19th, go vote early. 1117 Eisenhower Drive. Of course, you know that's on the back side of the driver's license office. So I know a lot of folk have some graduating students who have been taking them out there to get their driver's license. Just walk around the back of the building or drive around the back of the building and go vote while it's easy. My sister said she went in and there were only 3 or 4 people.
Yes.
And so she went in there and she got it done. And so she was telling my wife that she doesn't have to worry about getting into all of that, waiting in line.
Early voting is the key.
So go
people.
Vote early.
Early voting is the key.
It's key.
Yes.
Get your absentee ballot if you have them.
I'm kind of concerned with the absentee ballots, but early voting is the key. Get your absentee ballots in there.
By any means necessary. Vote.
Yes.
Vote. And vote Democrat. And Tony Riley is your Democrat in the 2nd District who wants your vote.
You tell him to vote for Tony Riley.
Yeah, Tony Riley. Vote for Tony Riley. That's me.
For the 2nd District County Commission.
I have now been endorsed by Michael Hamilton, who was the other candidate was in the race, did not come in a position to be here now, but he has endorsed me, and you'll see him on social media endorsing me. You probably see him some other places endorsing me. I'm quite sure Alicia's going to have him back on this show endorsing me. But we're encouraging you, let's do our civic duty and let's vote.
Now look here, once you get there, we don't want you to act like you don't know us now. We don't want you to do like some other people done did now. And they say good stuff while they're on the campaign trail, but then when they really get to the seat, everything changed.
Well, Alicia,
they forget where they come from, but I know you ain't gonna be like that.
I'm not gonna do that, but you know, the voters will fire me if I do that. You know, there have been candidates or representatives who only gotten 1 term. Because
but see, that's the thing. That's the thing. People always say they got 1 term. 1 term is consisted of how many years?
It's 4 years.
That's 4 years. So a lot can be done in 4 years. I'm just saying. I don't want you to get up there and then, you know.
No, I can never do that.
All right, come on, somebody. He said it out his own mouth.
Raised in the district, and I would never leave or forsake or disappoint across the district. I'll always serve the district. I'll always be available to every last citizen in the district. Whether you vote for me or not, I'm going to be your representative. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to answer you. I'm going to come to as many community organizations meetings as I can. I'm going to come and celebrate with you when the babies are born, and if we have to mourn somebody, we're going to mourn together. So trust me.
So if
Give
a
me your
person
vote.
wanted to talk to you, and they're like on the fence, and they say, I don't know if I should vote for his opponent or I should vote for him, I want to personally talk to him, how can they contact you?
They could call me like everybody else is doing at 912-484-6001.
Okay.
912-484-6001, or you can email me at TonyRiley4 That's Tony Riley for the second at gmail.com.
All right.
I will answer you. I'll take your calls, and we can talk about it and see what your concerns and your needs are, and see if we could help you, or you could help me help you. Okay?
All right. All right.
Well, thank you so
Savannah.
much.
Savannah.
Vote
Y'all have
tomorrow.
heard from Joyce Marie Griggs and Tony Riley, who's running for commissioner for the second district.
Second District County Commissioner.
Yes.
Along with Dietrich Leggett and a host of other of our former leaders, Mary Osborne, Dietrich Leggett, Sheriff Welcher is one of my supporters. So come on out, join people who know me, who trust me, have seen me in the community, working in the community. They know that I'm a man of integrity. You know, I'm on the NAACP's Racial Relations Board, so we work with Hispanics.
Oh, you know what? Y'all, let me say this right here. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I got to say this. You're very strong in the NAACP, and I commend you for that. I just want to ask you one question. When is the NAACP in the city of Savannah, Georgia, gonna really get up and do what needs to be done in this city? We have not seen a whole lot of action from the NAACP in forever.
Well, Alicia, I'll tell you when that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen when people like you join and bring your voice and your energy to the NAACP.
Well, I could tell you, I'm with another organization, which we do what we say we're going to do in the community. But I know, I'm just saying, because the NAACP has been an organization that has been in existence for many, many years.
Right.
And they're supposed to do certain things. NAACP sent people to me in our organization in order to give them some help.
Right.
So I'm doing my part on one end of the spectrum. So we need that particular end of the spectrum to get up and do what needs to be done. Because guess what? When we collaborate and we all come together, we'll be a force to be reckoned with.
I often encourage people to join the NAACP, because it's hard to fight and make change when you're without. But when you get in, just like before Alicia got on city council, you know, she had the bullhorns, and she was in the street, you know, and they were out there fighting and trying to get these young people to calm down and stop the black on black crime and so forth. But until she got on city council, so she could get to the table and start effectuating some of the changes that she was talking about in the street, nobody else was going to do what Alicia called was to do. Alicia had to get on board, or get on the city council board, to start effectuating the change that she wanted. And so that's the same thing, Alicia, with the NAACP. You have to join. The NAACP really is controlled by the executive board. Okay, so in the structure of the NAACP, you have the president, which right now is Al Scott. And when Mr. Scott took over the NAACP, since we want to talk about it, the NAACP was almost defunct. They didn't have any money. They didn't have any leadership.
Hold on, that's not what I'm talking about. Let me talk about what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Because you can have all the leadership in the world, you can have all the money in the world, but when you are not doing anything in the community,
I'm gonna help you with that, Alicia.
Okay.
I'm gonna help you with that. Let's slow it down. You know, A, B, C, D. Okay, so you have
EFGHIJK.
Right, so you have an executive board, which consists of about 8 or 9 members. Okay? The way the NAACP is structured, and see, that's where you got to get in. Because when you're in,
no, I'm not getting in. Somebody else might get in, but I ain't gonna get in.
The way the NAACP is structured is the executive board members that listen to the citizens or the people that are in the community and their concerns. It's the executive board members who say to the president, this is the issue that we want to fight for, or advocate, or address.
They must be listening very well.
For real.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So what you have to do,
they ain't fighting, they ain't listening.
What you have to do is you have to become a member and then become a member of that executive board so that you could say in your vote, in your concern, this is what we should be addressing.
You can't come with members because they still living. The old guys won't be up to see.
No, it's all a democracy. There's a voting
So wait
process.
a minute, you're saying that it's only 9 people on the executive board that determines.
That's correct. Now, it may not be 9, maybe more than 9, maybe less than 9. I'm using 9, I think.
But it's just a certain amount of people
right.
on that board that determines what gets dealt with.
According to membership and folks who have concerns, bring it to them. You got to go to the executive board. These things have to come before the NAACP, go before the executive board for discussion, and then the executive board say, we want to talk about why the school board shouldn't put these kids in danger going back to school with coronavirus. So then the NAACP take that issue out.
I have seen at least 5 in the last 10 or 15 years. I have seen at least 5 African Americans get killed by the hands of Savannah Police Department. Some of them with their hands up, some of them in handcuffs. NAACP did not speak on nothing. So the executive board told them not to speak.
Executive board just didn't make a move. I'm telling you that. The executive board did not make a move.
Okay, y'all, listen. That's going to be another topic for another time.
After this election.
Yeah, after this election.
See, now you're going to have your second district county commissioner, who's already a member of the NAACP, is going to be now a commissioner as a member of the NAACP.
Yes, that will be able to effectuate some real change. Y'all, listen. Second district, he's already in there. You need to put him on in that chair, and then y'all just come on now. Okay. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's work together. Let's get it done. I am your guy. I will represent you on the NAACP board, and I will represent you on the county commission board and any other board that I'm so privileged or honored to be appointed to. I will have the people's interest at heart.
All right. Thank you so much.
I will do the people's business. And I want to tell you one thing. You know, we just lost John Lewis, Congressman, the late Congressman John Lewis. And I would like to ask you, you know, he was one of the civil rights icons. He was one of the last of the 6 living members of Dr. Martin Luther King Inner Circle, not to negate Jesse Jackson and Andrew Young. But they took him up on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, you know, as a memorial to the fact that that's where he was really beaten, trying to march and to be in that movement for our right to vote.
Yes.
Now I tell you, I'm so sorry that he passed away. My condolences to his family and his friends and his children. But we should take this time, not let his life and his living and his dying be in vain. Let's vote. Agree. Let's vote for John Lewis. If you don't vote for any other reason, some of these young people don't have a lot of history of the civil rights movement.
No, they don't. And that's so sad. So sad. But you know what? I wouldn't say vote for John Lewis. I would say vote for your children.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Vote for your children. More so than John Lewis. John Lewis, C.T. Vivian, all of those civil rights individuals, they fought so that we would have the opportunity and the privilege to vote. But guess what? If you feel like it ain't going to benefit you, that's on you. But doggone, if you got children, get your butt to the polls and vote. Vote for your children. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does. If you want to see a community that is going to be gentrified to the fullest, and I'm so serious, when you see this one little house, $200,000+, y'all, come on now. It wasn't even worth it. Okay.
Somebody showed me one today that they have on the market for $290,000, and it is in an awful mess.
Yes.
Yes. So
Pay attention.
That's what's going on.
So the purpose of them making those houses that amount of money in that particular district is to make sure that you're not in there, especially if you're, I'm not going to say just African American, if you're poor. Okay,
That's
you could
right.
be white, you could be black, you could be Asian, you could be American Indian, you could be whatever. But if you're a person don't have the means as certain people have, and you're trying to go back into that community, especially if you were raised in that community, it's priced for you to be priced out. Pay attention. You better put somebody in there that's going to speak on your behalf. Okay, with that being said,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Tony Riley, I appreciate you coming by.
I appreciate you all. I want to leave y'all with this little piece right here from one of the old civil rights marching songs. Don't let nobody turn you round, turn you round, turn you round. Don't let nobody turn you round. Vote for Tony Riley. Thank you very much. Thank y'all here.
All right, Tony. Tony. All right.
Told me that this lady said she been trying to get on your phone since 8 o'clock and you refused.
Thank y'all.
A lady was trying to get on my phone since 8 o'clock. Hold on. I don't know anybody that's trying to get on my phone
That's why I went outside. She called me back
since
outside.
8 o'clock. All right, Shannon. Y'all, I told you that I had somebody here that was going to talk about a situation. Caller?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Someone said, I don't know if you're the individual that's been trying to get on this show since 8 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I totally apologize. When it came up on my phone, it showed scam likely. So if it says scam likely, I'm assuming it's a telemarketer. But sweetheart, by all means, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, ma'am. So I got in contact with Miss Yolanda Taylor. And she basically told me that you asked for me to come on to the show to talk about mental health in our Black communities. I see that politics, it took over. So I do know that you did yesterday ask if I could come next week, which I don't have a problem actually coming to the studio next week if that's something that you want to do to discuss.
Okay, so you're the young lady, Miss Ali, that was supposed to come and talk about mental health. You're Miss Savannah State, correct? For 2019?
Yes,
awesome. So guess what, y'all? I'm so sorry we're doing this right now, but I did not know that this was the young lady that was supposed to come tonight. So we are planning for you to come next Tuesday. Is that okay?
That is perfectly fine. I can actually physically come next Tuesday.
Wonderful. I heard you were under the weather, that they had to, you had to take a test or whatever, and you're in quarantine. So, you're in our prayers, okay?
Thank you.
You are so welcome, sweetheart. And I expect y'all, she will be here on next Tuesday to talk about mental health issues in the African American community and as much as it relates to African American men. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, everybody. Y'all listen, I tell you, this is for us, by us. Anything liable to happen on this show because we are live and we're real and we want to give you the knowledge and the information about what's going on in our community. Now, I'm getting ready to tell you a story about this young lady, her mother, and her uncle and her cousin on 42nd Street? 40th Street. Y'all, we talk about gentrification. We talk about being priced out of certain communities and what have you. And I got called by one of the commissioners, Jay Jones, about a month ago.
June 5th.
About a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, in reference to a situation that was taking place on 40th Street between Abercorn and Lincoln. Now, that's a couple of houses, about 2 houses from Russo's Seafood. And this is Russo, shouts out to you. Great seafood. appreciate the freshness and all that good stuff. But it's 2 houses from Russo's, okay? Young lady, and she's not a young lady, she's an elderly lady who is Shannon's mother, explained to me what was going on. I took pictures of it, posted it on my Facebook page, but she's here because she wants to let the community know what happened to her disabled elderly mother and how this thing is being handled in our judicial system. Okay, Shannon, I'm gonna let you just you tell the story, honey.
Well, first
and hold on, let me say this right here. Y'all, we are socially distancing. We have all of our spray. He took it in the other, no, it's over there. We got our spray and our sanitizer and all that kind of stuff, so we good to go. Okay, go ahead, honey, tell your story.
Well, first of all, thank you, Alderman Blakely, for allowing me to come on.
I'm not Alderman tonight, I'm Alicia Blakely tonight, okay?
Thank
yes.
First of all, I live in Atlanta.
Right.
But I grew up on 40th Street all my life. And to get a phone call from my mother, frantic, that she was startled out of her sleep for a backhoe coming across her privacy fence, destroying her private property. And when she runs outside to find out what's going on, the police are standing outside telling her, hold on, you stand there. And she's like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, well, your neighbor said part of your fence is on his property, and so we're going to remove the fence. And she's like, no, you're destroying fence, driveway, way more than what you're saying, and that's not his property, that's our property.
Right.
What's going on? Oh, well, where are your papers? Excuse me, I've been here 35 years. And who are you to tell me that this is not my property? And what paperwork does he have? Never could tell my mom any paperwork that the neighbor had, but the neighbor was an investor. And here you had a gang of white men attacking my mother's property on the 8th day of the Floyd protests. And standing there, allowing them to make her feel as a victim, because had Leroy attacked Susie's house, Leroy would have been arrested immediately, in jail, right there.
Right. Yes. Right. Go ahead now. Go ahead.
And you sit there, didn't even allow my mother to file a police report during this time, because they're like, oh, well, it's now a civil matter. No, it was always a civil matter. You took something that was a civil matter and turned it into a criminal matter because you allowed them to destroy and do this much damage to her property, and no one wanted to be held accountable for it. Savannah police stood there, police department. I'm calling from Atlanta doing
So the chiefs don't know nothing about this?
I'm calling doing well-checked visits trying to get here, to get to her.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did you all go to the police department and file a report in reference to this?
Yes, I finally got a chance to file a report. The report, when it was finally done, they were like, the report was so damaging that it couldn't be considered a regular report, that it had to be escalated up as something that would be a civil matter. So we just, it's been 2 weeks now where we just finally got a copy of the report. Again, this incident took place June 5th, so that we could get a copy so that my mother could even file a insurance claim, because of course you can't even call your insurance company without a copy of a police report that you weren't even allowed to have.
So basically, this is what happened, and this is why I said tonight we're going to talk about dealing with the business of our elderly, dealing with the business of our elderly. Family members, friends, community people, y'all, we have to pay attention. Okay, on the block that Shannon is speaking of, her mother is the only African American person that is still there. That whole block has been gentrified. That whole block, the black folk that used to live there. Now, mind you, I'm saying this because I grew up in that area. So I walked the streets of that area. I had an aunt that lived on 39th and Habersham. We used to walk to Russo's because they've been there forever. We would walk down to Chardell's and to David's Supermarket, Boys to Men,
Smith on Habersham,
Smith Brothers. You know, those places. We know the community. We know the area. So what has happened is there's an individual that moved next door, that bought the property next door. Now, around the corner on Lincoln Street is this individual's driveway. Well, what happened, what I saw with my own eyes when I was called by Representative J. Jones, Commissioner J. Jones, was a group of individuals tore down the fence of the driveway. Now, her mother had the fence right at the driveway, so you could drive about 2 or 3 cars in the driveway, and then she had the rest of her area fenced off. This individual took it upon himself, y'all, to tear her beautiful, brand new white fence down and piled it up in her yard. When we went, me and you, your husband, Hollis, went to the courthouse. Mm-hmm. When we went to the courthouse, y'all, and we got the papers clearly show that the driveway belonged to her mother, yes, to the property of her mother. Okay? Now, this is what happened. Supposedly, they did, what was it?
They had a survey.
A survey. The investors did a survey, and some kind of way they took on that survey almost how many feet?
6.
6 feet of her property, which was the driveway. Okay, so now check this out. We went and got the original documents that showed that the driveway actually did belong to her. But the survey was changed. And when I went to the tax assessor's office,
they just changed the map at the tax assessor's office right after July, around July the 6th or 7th. And when I went into the office, the lady at the office, the first thing she did was say, somebody's been tinkering with the maps. Those were her words.
Somebody's been tinkering with the maps.
Oh, yes, they have. Mm-hmm. When we went to show them the documents, the first thing the documents
that you got out of the courthouse,
out of Superior Courthouse,
out of the record books that went all the way back to 1939. I'm a witness because I went with her. Okay, go ahead.
And they proceeded to tell me that the documents from the courthouse are invalid because anybody could put things into the archive, and that the records that are at the tax assessor office only go back as far as 1990. And I was like, wait a minute, you're trying to tell me Savannah, historical Savannah, that Sherman did not burn down? We're the only city in Georgia that didn't get burned down during Civil War time.
And we have our records.
That's what we stand on, how historical this place is, and how well we've maintained records. But you're telling me at the tax assessor office, the records only go back to 1990. And on top of that, any records at Superior Court in the archives are invalid because anybody could put information there.
That's what they told you.
That's what they said.
Y'all, this is why I'm telling you what I'm telling you. This is why this young lady is here. Pay attention to what's happening with our elderly. Please, if you can assist them with doing their business or taking care of their business, if you're a family member or whoever, please do. Because if this young lady had not gone the extra mile, the extra step, these individuals, that's just like they just went in and stole her property.
Steal everything else.
Well, hell, they stole us.
That's how we got.
All right. Well, I said it. Yes, I did. But just think about it, y'all. This is serious. This is serious. I've heard where individuals 65 and older still paying property taxes. Still paying property taxes at a certain age, and I believe it's 62 years old. You do not have to pay property taxes. Don't quote me on that. Do not quote me. Just take your butts down to the tax office and see for yourself. Okay? Take your mamas, your grandmamas, your aunts, your uncles, your daddies, your granddaddies. At a certain age, you do not have to pay property taxes. Okay?
And the biggest thing that's going on is that they're counting on most of us to have moved out of the area.
Yes.
No one lives in the city limits of Savannah anymore is what I'm finding out.
Exactly.
And when they realize that my mother's property, we're the only owners outside of the original owners who've owned that property. Mm-hmm. So it was no handling, several owners handling so they could say, oh, well, y'all must have lost documents. We had everything. Mm-hmm. And that shocked them as well. Oh, the map y'all have must be fake. No, what y'all making up is fake.
That's right.
And the surveyors that they're using here in Savannah, they're all working together. They're lying. They're cheating on the surveys that they're paying for and doing. And I was like, it is a systematic racism problem that Savannah is having here. And they're working with the people at the tax assessor office. They're working at the people at city planning. All of them are in cahoots with this together. And they know all that's going on.
Well, we have a new tax commissioner now.
We have a new tax commissioner now, Sonia.
Well, I need to meet
Jackson.
Sonia.
So yes, and she's here. Sonia Jackson. There is a tax exemption for the elderly. Yes, ma'am, it is. And I sure hope, Miss Jackson, that you can put that little line up there, that link, so people will know. Okay, as an exemption is not zero property taxes. Good evening, Commissioner-elect. Okay. All right, there's not, as an exemption, there is not zero property taxes. Okay, it might not be, but they don't have to pay as much. Mm-hmm. Put it like that. Yes. It's something with the elderly that they're exempt from. Okay, and you got a lot of people that still. I had a lady, she had to be about 75 years old. She was in the tax assessor's office, and she was paying taxes and regular taxes. I said, ma'am, no, that's you should not be here. Who do you have children? Do you have anybody that can assist you? She said, no, I'm by myself. So y'all,
but I'm
pay attention.
They got to pay attention because they want to run us out. And the problem is they want my mother's property.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
And when I saw how much the property value has doubled in the last couple of years, I said, oh yeah, they want this, but we're going to fight them tooth and nail. They won't take this from her.
Okay. And y'all, when I tell you it's beautiful, it's beautiful. All right. Well, I want to say thank you. When are you all going to court? And is it going to be a court process?
It is, yes, sir. We already filed the paperwork for magistrate court and all of that. Good. But I was like I said, I need to talk to the mayor. Because the way Savannah police handled this situation, I am so disgusted, and my mother is fearful of what has happened. and traumatized, and I'm not happy, not one little bit.
So I will suggest this to you. You write a letter, an email, send it directly to the chief, send it directly to the mayor and to city council. Okay? And you express your disdain for what happened on that particular day involving that officer. I don't know what the protocol is. I will not say that I know, because I don't. I don't know how they handle certain processes and procedures, but they will be able to give you an explanation. And baby, let me tell you this here. You always want to document.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I learned in the military, the skill craft is mightier than the sword. And when I'm speaking of skill craft, I'm talking about this, because they used to give us a black skill craft pen. And if it ain't documented, it never happened. So let's document it.
Well, like I said, I've been keeping a journal, and I have dates and names of everybody who I've been talking to from all of the different offices. Every time I go, I make sure, and I'm filing complaints on every one of them as I've been going. And I was glad he talked about the NAACP, because I contacted the NAACP in Atlanta, because I was like, what's going on with the NAACP here in Savannah? Because I tried calling them and couldn't get nothing. I said, this can't keep going down against black people.
Exactly.
And that's what we're having a problem with. And this is a black-white issue. And I'm sick of it.
Okay. Gentrification is real, people. It's real, especially in Savannah, Georgia. Y'all pay attention. Help our elderly. Make sure that they're assisted. Because when you have, oh Lord, even during COVID, there's a lady, she had to be about 70 some odd years old. I got a call from an individual who was dealing with some people in a trailer park, and they put this lady out. I talked about it last week. They put this lady out of her trailer because she did not have the money to pay the rent. The individual who put her out was not even a documented individual. He was an illegal here in this country. But because she couldn't afford the rent, she had to go. So who knows where she went? Possibly in her car, possibly at a shelter. Who knows? You know? So with that being said, Shannon, I want to thank you so much for coming and telling your story. Y'all please take heed and remember, I got one more person that I'm going to be talking about. And I got to talk about this one person right here. He going to sit right here. And we going to have us a little conversation for about 5 minutes. And then we going to get up out of here, because I said I wanted to be out of here by 9 o'clock. Right. We're not doing another 10 o'clock night. Not tonight. I want to make it to Popeyes. I'm hungry. All right. Hand me that cup right there.
Thank you.
And I am so glad that you came and told your story. You let your mother know that my heart and my prayers are with you all. You know, it's only so much that I can do. I have this platform, so that's why I opened it up to you, so you could come and tell the people of Savannah what's going on. And I'm telling y'all, please, on everything I love, pay attention to your elderly. Pay attention to your elderly, your family, your friends, your people in your community. You know what I'm saying? You never know what a person is going through. A lot of times, the tax money that they're paying on their property, they could use that money to get their medication. Okay? But you don't know if you don't inquire. All right. With that being said, I appreciate you so very much.
Well, thank you so much.
All right. And keep me informed as to what happens and how it happens, so that we could also inform the community.
All right. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You're so welcome. All right. Come on here, my next guest. Y'all listen, I told y'all, we got to keep these young people motivated. We got to keep these young people engaged. Now, I want y'all to know, you all are looking at one of the youngest entrepreneurs in the city of Savannah. that his company is actually licensed, in the process of being licensed with, you're licensed already?
Yes, ma'am.
With the city of Savannah?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, come on. Tell them who you are and what is your company, what you do, how you got started and all that good stuff.
Well, my name is Darian Shurik and I'm 15 years old. My company name is S&D Handy Services LLC. Basically, we are a company that helps you around your house, like handy service. Like, we do plumbing, lawn service, and pressure washing. It all started from my dad because he wanted to invest in me into the future so I could have something to look back on.
Awesome. Wait a minute. Y'all listen. I mean, what is it like? What do you do in the course of a day, in the course of your day? You got this business going now. How do you operate the business? How do you, what motivates you to do this business?
My dad really motivated me. In some type of way, he motivated me to do a business. Because, really, in my family, we have a lot of black-owned businesses in my family. Mm-hmm. So that really motivated me to be a business owner.
All right. So let me ask you this. What do you mainly do? Because I know you have certain people that actually work with you and some people that work for you. How many employees do you have? And another thing I want to ask is, how easy is it? How hard is it? When I say motivate you, money always motivates. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that.
I have 5 employees. The hard part is the son.
Say that again. How many employees you have?
5.
Y'all listen. 15 years young. 5 employees. Own business already. Go ahead.
The hard part is the sun, but the easy part is beating the sun, getting up at 6:30 in the morning, be to the first job at 7, and trying to be done by 11.
So you work from 7 to 11.
Yes, ma'am.
And you get paid from 7 to 11.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all listen. Change their mind, change their life. I'm constantly letting folk know about the secret. This young man is actually doing what the secret said to do. Because last year this time, you would have never thought that this young man would be out in the elements, pushing a lawnmower, working at his own business. It took the village. It took his father. It took his grandfather. It took his nana. It took folk in his ear telling him, you don't need to work for anybody. You can work for yourself. Create a job. Create a business. And look at you now.
Now if somebody want to get in touch with you, how they get in touch with you?
You can call my phone or you can go on the Facebook page, S&D LLC Pressure Washing and Lawn Services. Or you could contact me at 912-224-1976.
Say that again.
You could find us on Facebook at S&D LLC.
I want you to say it a little slower now because you got folk that, they want to write the stuff down so you can't run through it. You like y'all millennials do. No, you're not the millennial. You're the Y. Right? Y'all can't run through it now. You got to be a little polished.
You could contact me at S&D LLC Pressure Washing and Lawn Services, or you could contact me at 912-224-1976.
Awesome. So let me ask you, are your prices reasonable?
Yes, ma'am. Very affordable.
Very affordable. All right. Well, y'all heard it.
Do you have discount for senior citizens?
We could work something out.
He was asked, is there a discount for senior citizens? He said, it can be worked out. Well, listen. Ooh, y'all, we are on time. We are on time. I got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Darian, for coming and talking about your business. And when do you, I think you have like a day off or something, right? Do you, can they call you at any time?
You can call me at any time.
At any time.
Yes,
all right. Well, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Thank you for coming. All right, y'all. Listen, could you tell JP to get ready?
Go ahead.
Go right next door and tell him to get ready. All right, y'all. With that being said, I just want to say I've already talked about the task forces and what have you, and talked about property taxes. Listen, there is a city council meeting on Thursday at 6 o'clock to talk about the increase in property taxes. 6 o'clock on Thursday. Y'all need to tune in. Tune into Zoom. Tune into Zoom and let's and see what's being done. I'm going to be honest with you. I voted against it. I voted against it. Keisha Gibson Carter voted against it. Estella Shabazz voted against it. And also Bernetta Lanier. We four voted against it. Now, I got to say this too, and I am not going to be long. I am so tired of people saying that we are against anybody. We're not against anybody at City Hall. Let's make it perfectly clear. When I ran for office, I said I was going down there to effectuate change, to speak on behalf of the voiceless. That is what I have been doing. Now, when you see me say that I wanted to revoke and rescind a motion that I made because an individual was not located in the area where he said he was, then guess what? I did not want my name on something after I did the investigation that was not factual. Okay? No, we could not have gone and had a conversation about it with our city manager. That would have not been the case. Why should we have? I wanted you all to know what was going on. Okay? That's why I said what I said. And that's why I did what I did. Y'all, we better pay attention. Pay attention to what's happening in our city. You want to know why we don't get nothing? Because it's a group of us that can't get nothing on the agenda. Stop asking us and start asking the other folks that's not allowing certain things to be put on the agenda. Don't ask us, ask them why. Okay? All right. With that being said, y'all, I think, I said I was going to talk about the Governor Cuomo visit. Well, you did not see me there because my phone was jacked up. My tablet was jacked up. I had spoken, my city phone and my tablet, and I had spoken to the powers that be on that Friday. We did not find out about it until 10:46 the night before he was supposed to appear. I did not find out about it until 12:41. Everything had already been established. I told you I'm going to be up front with you on everything that's going on, okay? It was too late. I did not know, and several other people did not get the message. Okay? So let's just put that out there so people don't have to wonder, I have to be concerned. This is what really happened. All right, y'all. With all of that being said, what my eyes see and my ears hear is going to determine how I speak. I no longer raise hell babies. I raise awareness. With that being said, I love you. God bless you. I'm about to shout my people out now. What this is? Is that the one with Public Enemy? Fight the powers that be, baby. Woo! All right, y'all. I'm about to shout y'all out. Time to get down, baby. Hey! Hey, is that the sleeper? All right, the people Jenkins, Chuck Speed, Hank Chuck, Ken Smith, Harry Small, Clinton Edmondson, Carter Scott Brown, Doris Vogel, Well, Brother Anthony Jones, Juanita Job, Keith Webb, Mary Ann Tanya Sherman, what's up, girl? Oh man, we go way back to St. Pius days. Ray Singleton, Kwanzaa Oliver Gardner, Jerome Coleman Sr., Gina Smith, Deborah Myers, Powell, Malvise Akeem Robinson Jr. What's up, Malvise? What's up, Lizette? What's up, Dr. Amir Torre? Y'all, Dr. Amir Torre has left us here. And he's down in, what is that, Statesboro now? Sabrina German, Dr. Nicole Hyman, Suave Scott. Let's see. Julius Hall, Sonia Jackson, Keisha Gibson Carter. What's up, P1? Okay, let's see. Betty Robinson, Carla Wallace Peterson. Carla, I want you to come on here and talk about oh my gosh, what is it? She's a part of with the blood disease, sickle cell. I think it's sickle cell, Carla, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Terry Talbert. Y'all, I think Ronald Stokes. What's up, Ronald? Joe White. Norma Gabe. What's up, Norma? Janie Williams. Jay Jones. Adrian Campbell. Donnell Johnson. Cynthia Moore. Lucille Bacon. Tyler Green. What's up, Tyler? John McMasters. Anthony Hindley. Amir Torre. You still in Savannah? Amir, you're still in Savannah, but I thought I saw you going down there to Statesboro on Facebook. But anyway, y'all, with all of that being said, hold on. I want you to hit this and turn it off. All right? Not right now. When I tell you.
Which one?
Boy, you know how to operate that thing right down there at the bottom. That arrow going. The D. Crenshaw. All right, y'all. Yes, not yet. Yes, that's it. All right, y'all. Remember everything I told you. The most important thing is the secret. The secret. Change your mind and change your life. Change your mind, change your life. Remember, the millionaire mind. Y'all, let me tell you something. Knowledge is power. If you don't remember nothing else, remember that. Knowledge is power. I love you. God bless you. Peace out, Savannah. There you go. Now hit finish, grandson.